Om Sahanam Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadasivasamarambam Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye. Hey, good morning to everyone. Ah, okay, we're going to step 5. Shall I start reading?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Step 5. Let the multitude of sins be uprooted. Sin is any action that violates dharma. Sin or papa means a dharma. Papa creates conflicts, sense of guilt, etc. When I deliberately tell a lie, I do something wrong, which in turn creates a sense of guilt or hurt. I'll read this again. Sin is any action that violates dharma. Sin or papa means a dharma. Papa creates conflicts, sense of guilt, etc. When I deliberately tell a lie, I do something wrong, which in turn creates a sense of guilt and hurt. In general, our likes and dislikes, anger, jealousy, greed, competition, self-centeredness, negative tendencies are all results of papa. All our self-centeredness, all negative tendencies are result of papa. If our life becomes a life of duty, dharma, then negative tendencies will be slowly subdued. We can perform deliberate actions to transform our life. We can convert our greed into being generous by donating and being charitable. Goodness is our true nature. Sin is that inhibits our true nature. Sin is that which inhibits our true nature of kindness, generosity, compassion, forgiveness to manifest. We all want to be a helping person, but we become a hurting person. Papa denies our true nature. By performing acts of kindness, we can transform our life. For being kind, forgiving, and compassion, all we need is ourselves. As negative tendencies drop off, we can discover greater and greater joy and satisfaction in ourselves. We can transform from having a reacting mind to thinking mind. Rajas and tamas drop off and flowers into sattva. I'll read this again. It's put the reading one more time. Step 5. Let the multitude of sins be uprooted. Sin is any action that violates dharma. Sin or papa means a dharma. Papa creates conflicts, sense of guilt, etc. When I deliberately tell a lie, I do something wrong, which in turn creates sense of guilt or unhurt. In general, our likes and dislikes, anger, jealousy, greed, competition, self-tenderness, self-centeredness, negative tendencies are all results of Papa. So, what are the things Papa is causing? Is our raga, dvesha, anger, jealousy, greed, competition, self-tenderness, and negative tendencies are all results of Papa. All our self-centeredness, all negative tendencies are result of Papa. Hmm. How nice that is explained here. All our self-centeredness, all negative tendencies are result of Papa. If our life becomes a life of duty, dharma, the negative tendencies will be slowly subdued. Again, if our life becomes a life of duty, dharma, the negative tendencies will be slowly subdued. We can perform deliberate actions to transform our life. We can convert our greed into being generous by donating and being charitable. We can perform deliberate action to transform our life. We can convert our greed into being generous by donating and being charitable. Goodness is our true nature. Sin is that inhibits our true nature. Sin is that which inhibits our true nature of kindness, generosity, compassion, forgiveness to manifest. We all want to be a helping person, but we become a hurting person. Papa denies our true nature. By performing acts of kindness, we can transform our life. For being kind, forgiving, and compassion, all we need is ourselves. So you be kind, forgiving, and compassion, all we need is ourselves. So that will take away all our sins. As negative tendencies drop off, we can discover greater and greater joy and satisfaction in ourselves. We can transform from having a reacting mind to a thinking mind. Rajas and tamas drop off and flowers into sattva. Okay. So I read the step 5. If anybody want me to repeat anything, or you guys go off to say things. Sorry. Excuse me. Just give me a second. So the step 5 is talking about how our sins can be uprooted. So he's describing sin as that violates dharma. So that happens when, as a guilt or hurting person like the papa Second. Yeah. It creates the conflicts and sense of guilt. So when you tell a lie or something, then it creates a sense of guilt and hurt in her. So the negative, this Papa creates all kinds of negative things in our mind. So we become, they develop likes and dislikes and uh, raga, desha, greed, jealousy, and self-centeredness, negative tendencies, all that are results of the papa. So in order for us to get rid of those things, to you lead your life with dharma, then negative tendencies slowly going off. So what when the once the negative tendencies are gone, and then the goodness, like they're talking about, they're describing how the true nature is, like what is the true nature that bring once this papas kind of slowly wane off of us, then the kindness, compassion, generosity, and forgiving, those things they manifest. So slowly your rajas and tamas gunas go, and then sattva guna comes. So please share your thoughts about this point. And if people join later, do you want me to read it again?
If everybody is okay with it, I don't mind. I joined late.
Okay. I can read one more time and then you can go further, okay? All right. It's a short one,
Thank
but
you.
I'll read it. Step 5 is let the multitude of sins be uprooted. Sin is any action that violates dharma. Sin or papa means a dharma. Papa creates conflicts, sense of guilt, etc. When I deliberately tell a lie, I do something wrong, which in turn creates sense of guilt and hurt. In general, our likes and dislikes, anger, jealousy, greed, competition, self-centeredness, negative tendencies are all results of papa. All our self-centeredness, all negative tendencies are result of papa. Our life becomes a life of duty, dharma, the negative tendencies will be slowly subdued. We can perform deliberate actions to transform our life. We can convert our greed into being generous by donating and being charitable. Goodness is our true nature. Sin is that inhibits our true nature. Sin is that which inhibits Sin is that which inhibits our true nature of kindness, generosity, compassion, forgiveness to manifest. We all want to be a helping person, but we became a hurting person. We become a hurting person. Papa denies our true nature. By performing acts of kindness, we can transform our life. For being kind, forgiving, and compassion, all we need is ourselves. As negative tendencies drop off, we can discover greater and greater joy and satisfaction in ourselves. We can transform from having a reacting mind to thinking mind. Rajas and tamas drop off and flowers into sattva. So is that
They Gurudev, this negative tendencies or negative thinking or something like that.
Negative emotions, like I that's what I negative tendencies means, you know, anything that we do, that self-centered activity. I think that's what I think. And then negative tendencies meaning instead of
And also he says, they have done lot of sin to have that negative tendency.
right, so that people have, you know, when they were, they don't take anything positively in life, like everything is they find fault with, and that kind of, you know, complaining nature. Intro the tendency is like in, say for example, I mean that's what I understand. If Dr. Brahmer or anybody else can please uh, share. uh, for me, you know, people being depressed or um, sad about things, you don't see good things. Everything is negative, you know. Oh, that might cause this problem or this problem. You find fault with everything.
Yes, I know somebody like that. That's why I'm wondering.
Yeah. So that means that tendency is like always going in the negative, that in the pain spiral, right? Even if you have pain, okay, okay, it's okay. No, I'm feeling fine. You know, instead of saying that, oh, I have aching, and then that small ache will become a big ache. That because there's too
Correct.
much worrying and that
So, yes, I've seen such people. They're not able to live joyfully. When you have
yeah,
devotion, when you devotion and you're in love, so much of the negative tendency doesn't come at all happen.
yeah, they
They
you
lack.
can feel. Yeah, mostly that we have to ask ourselves if that happens to us. Okay, you try to come out of it. Everybody goes through some depression, some anxiety in their lives, but then if we dwell on it all the time, then people become really permanently dead that way, right? They're feeling guilty and uh, that kind of things. They always have a conflict in their mind. They cannot clearly think. That's what they say. You react to that problem rather than clear thinking mind. You know, discrimination probably will lessen. Um, so those kind of things. The I feel that people normally say nicely smiling and tell you nice things about it instead of that. Oh, you even giving a comment, right? Give the negative comment. Oh, you don't look good or something like that. Nobody likes that kind of comment, right?
Correct, you're right.
Yeah, because any like this is how I really like when I think about Sahasranamam or some other. We praise the Lord, you know. When we
Absolutely.
praise, yeah, it makes them feel good. The same way, even the human being, even you tell the plant or even in you always think positively how beautiful it is and things like that. That there was one experiment, talk about the water. People um, all the time say bad things to that even the water crystal change in shape. If they're happy and
Yeah,
nicely, then the
correct.
crystal is very happy and uh, energized. Like yesterday, Premji was saying, and I was saying that how that seed, who made it, and however it comes to us, right? So even everything has done with that renewed energy and sattvic kind of whatever we are making. Say if I'm a farmer, I make it with that attitude like Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, and I whatever I make. should go to the people and they should get nourished properly, and that kind of an attitude, with that the things come out of there would be really good.
Yes, what you said is correct. When you have sattva quality more in you, your negative things doesn't come in your head. Yeah.
Right. That's,
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's what we have to inculcate ourselves to. Sometimes this happens to everybody, right? One time or the other, oh, if this happened, how come this can happen? Then the ego is there. When we give up the ego, then this kind of tendencies won't be that much.
And here one more thing, it says for antidote for
Mm.
greediness is generosity.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Basically, what they say is the sin is from the papa, right? The papa is because it becomes violates dharma, and so it becomes a sin. The more sins we have, that all these negative things are happening, like all these raga dveshas, then the greed, anger, like jealousy, all this character build up on these personalities, right? Negative tendencies and whatnot. But as we have that, our real nature, good nature is, our nature is supposed to be, we are supposed to be kind and compassionate and forgiving and give, generous to give people, right? So those, that is our good nature. But when people have a lot of papa, the sin, and that hides this true nature of us.
Mm.
So when the papa is being reduced by becoming this, doing our duty with the dharma, following dharma, we do our duty,
Mm.
and slowly this papa is kind of subdued. So as we subduing these papas, then we gain our the sattva quality, and our this new kindness and compassion, all that will be coming in,
Correct.
will like generous and all that. So the, like you said, to counteract that activity, like one example they gave is, if you are greedy, to counteract the greed, you try to donate or charity, to do some charity work,
Mm.
and that would help.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
about the quality, just
Mm.
you were mentioning that some people they always pick up something that I have ache here, I have that, I have this, and that keeps growing.
Mm.
Yes, that is the- maybe that gives happiness to that people. In one of the
Mm.
Chinmaya lectures, the
Mm.
Swamiji was saying, I was listening. He said,
Mm.
like somebody asked, who wants to be unhappy? And
No. Yeah. Mm.
one person raised his hand.
Mm.
Say, Arey, why do you want to be unhappy? And
Mm.
then that guy says, Sir, being unhappy gives me happiness. So even that, he wants to do it for happiness only. That is so for some people, like
Mm.
like giving that kind of excuse for anything. No, I have pain here. I have. For such people, what you need to do is, see, there is a saying that pain is inevitable. When you have a pain, you have a pain, but
Yeah.
suffering is optional. You want to suffer the pain, or you want to get through the pain and do something with it. If like if for someone something is paining, then you have to, if you tell them, okay, Baba, this is the medicine, you take it, or go to a doctor, go to a specialist, do this, do that, do that. If they do not do, but they
Mm.
continue to suffer that pain, and they
Mm.
keep complaining that I have this pain, you tell them, Arey Baba, I told you this, you don't do, and there is accessibility of that solution. Still, if they do not, then probably they like it that way.
Yeah.
That also gives them kind of a happiness. It's not the right kind of a happiness, it's not
Right.
the kind of thing, but for some people, that's it. They
Yeah.
complain, but they complain, they suffer, then looking at them, we also will feel, array, what they are suffering,
Mm.
but they do not want to come out. Have you not seen such people? We do see in our offices,
True.
in our daily life, we
Yeah.
keep seeing. So it again depends on how you build up your personality. If
Mm.
you build up your personality that you want to have that kind of pain or suffering and don't want to do anything and keep on complaining to people, maybe with an expectation that people will think, oh, this person,
Mm.
it's suffering like so much, these the if you want to get that kind of a comments and feelings from people, maybe that gives happiness to some people. That is like, it depends on various factors, not just on one person's attitude.
Right. Mm.
The kind of childhood you had, the kind of friendship you had, kind of upbringing, everything comes into place, and the kind of choices you make in your life, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Being an internist, seen people like, but we have to be patient with them and try to understand what their issues were,
Hmm.
and try to help them as much as possible. The just to that example only I gave was that
Hmm.
whatever you do, sometimes they don't get satisfied. You know,
Yeah, we
I
in our happiness program, we
yeah.
have
Mm,
one thing, no, like we do this experiment, like nine things good and one thing bad
right.
about someone. Oh, your dress is nice, your shirt is nice, your specs are nice, your that is nice, this.
Yeah.
But your nose does not suit your face.
Right.
Say one such thing, enough. All the
Yeah.
good things the fellow will leave, and he
Leave.
will go home with that one comment on the nose, and
Right.
keep on nagging himself. Or next day when they come, also they'll be complaining on this. You commented on my nose yesterday. Arey Baba, I told you your shoes are good, your hands are good, your hair is good, your eyes are good.
Yeah.
No, no, no. All that is okay, but you commented that my nose is bad. This is the human tendency. To come out of that, we have to tell ourselves that I am going to change. I am going to be change, not to do the favor to the world, huh?
Right.
To be happy myself. There is a there is this shloka, right? Udharet atmana atmanam na atmanam avasadhayet. Atmaiva atmana bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. Like, you lift yourself by yourself,
By
never put
yourself.
down yourself.
Mm.
Atmaiva atmana bandhu, you are your best friend. Atmaiva ripuratmanaha, you yourself are your worst enemy. So
Mm.
everything, it is
Yes.
dependent on you. The
Right.
world has not written a contract with you when you were born that
Mm.
it is going to be nice to you. This
Mm.
is what Swamini Vimlananda ji of Chinmaya, she used to tell whenever
Mm.
she used to come to Bahrain.
Mm.
Think one thing, the world never has written a contract with you that I am going to be nice to you. World is what the world is. It's up
Mm.
to you how you want to conduct your life and how you want to improve your own quality of life. Quality of life, I'm not talking about the external comforts. Our own
Mm.
quality means
Won't
our
correct.
texture. Yeah,
Mm.
whether we want to be like a gunny bag. You know what's a gunny bag? The bag in which rice is put in the olden
Mm.
days. Mm?
Mm.
You want to be of that kind of a texture, or you want to be of the texture of nice silk cloth. Both are cloths, but both have its different properties. So the choice is always ours, how we wish to conduct our life, how we want to be, how we want to treat the situations that come through our life,
Yeah.
isn't it? Hari Om.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Premanna. The reason, yeah, I like in my view, is like we don't want to bring ourselves these negative tendencies. That is what it is. I mean, like, kind of I gave an example, of course, that maybe something wrong, but We don't want to judge anyone in terms of that, So thank you for your
Yeah. Not judging anyone,
clarification.
but
Yeah,
from such people and situations, we
right.
need to learn. We need to learn. We
Learn.
need to tell ourselves that relevant shloka like Uddharet Atmanatmanam. I am going to improve myself, come
So,
what may, no matter what. That is how. Yeah.
mm,
Okay.
that's very nice. Thank you for that.
And here comes the importance of seva also, right?
Mm-hmm.
This point, the number 5. Sin is nothing but anything that makes us feel guilty, something that makes us feel angry, frustrated. So that is what is a vasana. Any negative tendency, the negative tendency that Maltiji was asking, are those impressions that keep getting created every time we do an egocentric activity
Mm.
and any adharmic activity that we do. But the moment the solution for that is to focus on doing your duty, dharmic way. Then you are developing, you're blossoming into a loving, kind, compassionate. All the human values will flourish, will blossom. And therefore, sattva builds up. Such a beautiful point, this number 5.
Yeah, it's a few words only, but
Yeah,
it make big difference in
right.
terms of that.
Like yesterday's point was about true success. True success is a state of mind,
Right.
a mind that is calm and centered, and not a demanding mind, a mind that is giving, a mind that is generous.
Right. So these are the qualities that we have to focus on, improving upon us, like basically true happiness, success, actually not based on the external things. And so anyone
And
else, please
rather
share.
than becoming a reactive mind,
Right.
you're being a thinking mind.
Thinking mind, yeah.
No, you're conscious, thinking, aware mind.
So nicely said, right? What are the causes, what results, and of the papa, and then what is the other opposite of papa is the good actions and what it can do to you also. Nicely said.
You can go on to step 6 if, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Step 6, reflect upon the inherent limitations of worldly pleasures. Reflect upon the inherent limitations of worldly pleasures. See the defect in worldly desires, pleasures. Until we see the defects in worldly desires, our priorities in life are not going to be set appropriately. We don't question what the root source of happiness is. We have false conclusions that the world makes us happy. We have false conclusion that the world, like objects, people, situations, makes us happy. So I'll read from the beginning one more time. See the defect in the worldly desires and pleasures. So slash pleasures. Until we see the defects in worldly desires, our priorities in life are not going to be set appropriately. We don't question what the true source of happiness is. We have false conclusions that the world, objects, people, situations, false conclusions that the world makes us happy. All those things in the world, like objects, people, situations, only making happy. But so that's what we need to figure it out. Sorry. Okay. Reflect. No, fourth point is reflect on the moments when we gain happiness. Reflect on the moments when we gain happiness. We seem to get happiness when listening to music or reading a book or when we are with a friend or when we get what we want. We don't question if music or a person or a situation is the true source of happiness. Before we gain the objects, person, or situation of our liking, we entertain the desire for them and have a sense of lack or the feeling of I want. At the moment when our desires are fulfilled, temporarily the sense of lack goes away, and we are comfortable with ourselves. The happiness we gain when our desires are fulfilled is not because of the object, person, or the situation. The happiness we gain is because we are comfortable with ourselves at the moment when our desires are fulfilled. Let me read this line again. The happiness we gain is because we are comfortable with ourselves at the moment when our desires are fulfilled. Without knowing this, we have false conclusions that objects, persons, or situations bring happiness and seek after them. When we reflect whether objects, persons, or situations bring happiness, we can recognize they don't bring happiness consistently. The same object or person whom we may enjoy today may be the source of misery tomorrow. However, whenever we gain happiness, the self that is comfortable is always present. When we have the sense of lack, we don't accept ourselves as we are. We have self rejection. We are not comfortable with ourselves. At the moment when our desires are fulfilled, this sense of lack is temporarily suspended. So we are comfortable with ourselves. We are accept ourselves, and there is no self rejection. When we recognize that the happiness is in the self, not in objects or person, then we can realize the true source of happiness and as well as the defects and our limitations in seeking worldly pleasures. Even the desires that get fulfilled in our life is because of punya karma. Without punya karma, we won't even get the objects, people of our liking. The last line, let me read this again. When we recognize that happiness is in the self, not the objects or person, then we can realize the true source of happiness and as well as the defects and or limitation in seeking worldly pleasures. Even the desire that get fulfilled in our life is because of punya karma. Without punya karma, we won't even get the objects, people of our liking. Wow. So there is the punya karmas playing role. I'll read this again. A lot of points in here. So we have like what 9 points in the step 6. I'll read one more time this whole thing. Step 6. Reflect upon the inherent limitations of worldly pleasures. Number 1 is see the defect in worldly desires slash pleasures. Until we see the defects in worldly desires, our priorities in life are not going to be set appropriately. We don't question what the true source of happiness is. We have false conclusions that the world makes us happy. Reflect on the moments when we gain happiness. We seem to get happiness when listening to music or reading a book or when we are with a friend or when we get what we want. We don't question if music or a person or a situation is the true source of happiness. Before we gain the objects, person, or situation of our liking, we entertain the desire for them and have a sense of lack or the feeling of I want. At the moment when our desires are fulfilled, temporarily the sense of lack goes away and we are comfortable with ourselves. The happiness we gain when our desires are fulfilled is not because of the object, person, or the situation. The happiness we gain is because we are comfortable with ourselves at the moment when our desires are fulfilled. Without knowing this, we have false conclusions that objects, persons, or situations bring happiness and seek after them. If we reflect whether objects, persons, or situations bring happiness, we can recognize they don't bring happiness consistently. The same object or person whom we may enjoy today may be source of misery tomorrow. However, whenever we gain happiness, the self that is comfortable is always present. When we have the sense of lack, we don't accept ourselves as we are. We have self rejection. We are not comfortable with ourselves. At the moment when our desires are fulfilled, the sense of lack is temporarily suspended. So we are comfortable with ourselves. We are we accept ourselves and ourself, and there is no self rejection. So at the moment when our desires are fulfilled, the sense of lack is temporarily suspended. So we are comfortable with ourselves. We accept ourselves, and there is no self rejection. Okay. When we recognize that happiness is in the self, not in objects or person, then we can realize the true source of happiness and as well as the defects or limitations in seeking worldly pleasures. Even the desires that get fulfilled in our life is because of punya karma. Without punya karma, we won't even get the objects, people of our liking. So much about the worldly pleasures. So objects, people, situations. So our question should be, are you happy? That must be the question. And then where the happiness come from. I remember when I first took this yoga class, there was this question about when did you feel happy, like that. You write like a small story or something like that. So what are the situations made you happy or something? So yeah, I passed my MBBS exam. That made me happy. So like that's what I wrote. Now I can see what they were talking about. So please share, or I can. You want me to read again? Let me see. Let me know.
It's all about the mechanics of happiness. No?
Yeah.
There is this constant singing tanpura, like Nana had told us earlier. This I want, I want, I want. So this I want, the moment you get what you want, temporarily it makes you feel happy because you feel like self-satisfied. You feel complete.
Yeah.
This I want is arising from avidya. Avidya of who your true nature is. You are actually, if you are comfortable with yourself, you don't need anything at all to make you happy. Right?
Yeah.
From avidya springs forth the desire, kama, and from there comes karma. So this I want, I want, I want is we're hooking on. After one desire gets completed, satisfied, are you happy completely? No, this I want hooks on to another desire.
Mm.
And the gap between the first I want and the second I want is when you are, you're awaiting completion of the other desire for you to be happy.
Mm.
So becoming aware of this I want and polishing that, and rather than desire-based living,
Yeah.
diverting it into need-based living.
Mhm.
Then you're taking care of a whole lot of your
what you
mind getting
versus
entangled
exactly. Yeah.
in the worldly pleasures. So chiseling that I want, just being aware of that. And practicing the thing of santosha. Patanjali says that practice santosha is one of the niyamas, right? So being content with oneself, happy within.
Yeah, so like just going back to that writing, right? So you passed MBBS, that I was happy all the time. No, right? After you finish, you come here and take the exam after exam. Oh my God. Oh, it's never ending. Like that, it's only temporary. That whatever the joy that you get out of those situations or objects, how true it is.
And the very psychology of why we feel miserable is very beautifully explained. So when your desire is not fulfilled, satisfied, you end up with self-rejection because you're basing your security, your your happiness on that, on getting that either that object or that person or that situation. When that doesn't happen, why do you feel low? You are actually complete. Our true nature is completeness, purnatva.
Right.
But we feel miserable, we feel small, we feel dejected. You reject yourself, so to say.
Yeah.
It's because of this illusion that the world out there gives me happiness.
So this particular thing, I wonder, maybe you can explain a little bit more. When we have the sense of lack, we don't accept ourselves as we are. We are self-rejection. We are not comfortable with ourselves. At the moment when our desires are fulfilled, the sense of lack is temporarily suspended. Fulfilled, okay. Then you're comfortable with yourself and there's no self-rejection. So as long as it's fulfilled, you're not having that kind of trouble. But then when it's not fulfilled, then that problem causing the self-rejection.
But how long is that happiness when you get that fulfillment?
No, I just, yeah.
Momentary,
not
isn't it?
Momentary again.
Momentary.
Yeah.
So that constant I lack links to I want.
Yeah.
And
so that's a defect, like they're talking about, right? What is the defect that you have to understand in all these worldly pleasures, that we have to understand it's only temporary, that's not permanent. So why dwell on it so much, or you sweat it, right? We have people fighting for the money and properties and all kinds of things. It's very true. Like one is, you have to keep in mind that, like you said, what is needed is what you need to have. What you want may not be what you need. And you've been good, content with, happy with yourself.
And this will help us prioritize what is important in life. No? So we are doing Sadhana Panchakam. So the moment we wake up, if our mind is going towards to-do list with respect to fulfilling our desires with respect to the world, there's some, I'm just giving an example. There is this, I'm talking of Netflix because there is one after the other. So many things keep pulling you away from your so-called priorities. So you have in your agenda, I have to watch this, I have to watch this. That is it. That amount of time, say 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, is taken by that.
Yeah.
So
True.
where is your priority? This human birth is such a precious gift given to us. We have only limited number of breaths that we are born with. The moment the breaths that we are given completes, that is it. We are no more. So how do we want to utilize this human life? It is endless. That pit of sense pleasures out there is insatiable. The more you feed it, the more it will want. So therefore, practicing pratyahara, withdrawing your senses and deriving that joy from within.
Mm. Not from the
Prioritizing.
joy and
Vedo
happiness from outside
nityamadhyatam.
stuff. Yeah.
So rather than getting your mind onto watching this, that, and that, or listening to whatever,
Yeah.
if you can direct it towards, yes, let me read the scripture. I have to read. This is a dictum given by our by Adi Shankara. Starting was what? Vedo nityamadhiyatam. So read the Vedas every day. Are we doing that? What can I do? So then automatically our priorities will change. Priority will not be movie, priority will be moksha. That is what even Swami Charna, Swami Suryapadaji used to tell. He says, if moksha is bottom of your list priority, forget about it. Make moksha topmost priority. Then you'll see how all your activities in your life will be directed towards that.
So, Dr. Ramara, I know it's not related to this. Are you going to that the center for the Navaratri this year?
To Bangalore?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are good. Yeah, I wanted to go, but
You want to
then
join?
that's why every year I like to do that, but then something or other, our family, with my grandchild, have to take care of him. So that's why I had to stay. I want to come when you're there sometime, so maybe next time or some other occasion. It's in September, right? Next end of the month.
Yes, end of September.
Oh, you already started September there, right? Right. Yeah. Anyway, it's just 5 minutes more or 4 minutes. So please share your thoughts, guys. Like I know. Biology is not, she's usually around, but I don't know where she is.
Hari Om. I just would like to add one small note which I just got to know yesterday. Santoshi is a daughter of Lord Ganesha since Ganesha festival is going on. So Santoshi in the literal sense is contentment. So when we are invoking Lord Ganesha, all the auspicious things and things along with that, the contentment also is blessed when we are worshipping him. So which
Ganesha.
is very, very essential right now. Prem Bhaiya and Brahmaraji also said, no, whatever I have, it is enough. And I always get what is enough for me by the grace of the Lord. That feeling, that confirmation, that affirmation that I already have whatever is needed. So that is the thing. And so that she's a daughter of Lord Ganesha, which I did not know before.
Who?
Contentment.
Oh, contentment.
Yeah.
Very
But
nice.
one
Like,
thing we all have to understand here is that okay, the contentment what we have is all correct, but Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu katachana. That is what we have to think here. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You are eligible and entitled to wish for anything and work for that. Contentment is on one side. That is the paravidya. That is the adhyatmika vidya. What we do. There is something called the worldly vidya and wisdom that we live with. Suppose you want to buy a Range Rover, for example, and or you want to buy a Rolls Royce. I'm just giving some extreme examples. You work for it, but at the end of the day, you end up buying a Toyota Innova. There comes contentment is, yes, I worked for something, but this is what is the result I got. So this is the blessing of God. I'll take it as that. That is like contentment, and God gives you what you need. But wishing that you want to buy a Rolls Royce is not bad. You can work towards that. And if you have it in mind, you need to work towards that. But with an awareness that even a Rolls Royce is temporary, even if you own the Boeing company making aircrafts, even if you are the sole owner of that, also that is temporary. Here we have to take the example of not a monk on the street, but example of Maharaja Janaka. He was such a grand king, living all the grand life, but when someone comes and tells, "Sir, the palace is on fire," he was talking to a saint he was having a spiritual discussion with someone. Then Janaka says, "Aha, okay, tell the prime minister." And that's it. He continues his discussion. He does not jump. That kind of a detached attachment or attached detachment. You are you are having a lot of your worldly duties. You must do it. Like someone was talking about the worldly pleasures. Okay, what is the harm in um, wanting to have a tasty food today? Assuming today you think, I want to eat what a nice spicy vegetable biryani. Is it wrong? No, no, no. I have to live a sattvic life. So I will eat only a bland something. No, that is not the one. Do not impose, we do not need to get into self inflicting mode, saying, no, 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 I should eat only this, I should eat only that. Wish for anything, but in a fair manner. Wish for anything in a dharmic manner. As long as the dharmic manner is, dharma is not religion. Dharma is there is no, again, no word to describe dharma. It is righteousness is the closest thing. Dharma is what you originally are. Like salt has its taste. If salt becomes a sweet, it is not it is not called salt at all, because it lost its dharma. This is the example. Sugar, if it stops being sweet, it is not called sugar. That is its dharma. So whatever is our swadharma, our dharma, we need to. Because suppose you are earning a $10,000, your salary is a $10,000 per month, but you require actually only 4,000 to survive. If the boss gives you 4,000 and says this is enough for you, will you say, yeah, my contentment? No. There you need to get what you deserve, what you get. But everything with an awareness. That awareness should be like the tambura in our humming. Wish for everything you want. Otherwise, you will never have an Adani or an Ambani in the world, and there will not be industries, there will not be anything. Everyone will be like a Buddha begging bowl. The economy will not run. So God has given everyone the power and everyone the responsibility to do what they want. In spite of all the kind of a sannyasi like feelings that Arjuna got on the battlefield, did Krishna tell him contentment is the key, Arjuna? Now go home and eat salad and sleep? No. He made him fight the war, though Krishna knows, Arjuna knows, everyone knows that. More so, Krishna, he knows that only 30 or 36 years Pandavas are going to rule. After that, everything is going to change. Still, he wanted to install Dharma, and he said, you fight for Dharma, not fight for your kingdom. As simple as that. We need to do what we need to do with an awareness that even that is temporary. This is the kind of attitude we need to get. Someone takes $100,000 from you and does not return. If you says money is not permanent anyway, let him take. That is not right. There we are assisting adharma in the world. We are assisting bad things in the world. The balance of the world gets disturbed by our behavior also, by thinking, because the Dharma Shastra is very, very sukshma, very, very fine. We should always understand it in its a true spirit, not only on having a lopsided view of either this way or that way. That is why I was saying Mahabharata, we need to watch every dialogue, every sentence is so important. For example, Bhagavad Gita, the very first sentence, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsava Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva. That itself shows my people and Pandavas. Bloody, they are your brother's children. But here it comes, my people and Pandu's children. Who is Pandu, your brother? The mindset and mentality of Dhritarashtra is shown there. This is how the world is. That is why I was suggesting we need to watch Mahabharata from A to Z, in a part of which is Bhagavad Gita anyway. So this kind of awareness also, if we cultivate and develop during these sessions, we know what is the world, how to be with the world, in the middle of the world, but with the awareness. Like how Krishna was. Krishna knew everything, but he was in the world, but detached. Hari Om.
Very nicely said, Anna.
Before contentment,
Mm.
Ganesha's consorts, Riddhi and Siddhi, means Vruddhi and Siddhi. It has to happen, and then contentment comes.
Is that the knowledge? Riddhi is more like thoughts. Siddhi is like
It means you
jnana.
grow up, and Siddhi means you find the success, and then contentment.
And
Product is contentment. Sun.
anyone else to say anything? We are time up now. I'll close here and maybe we can review this again tomorrow. I don't have that meditation thing, Dr. Brahmara. So I'll say the final sloka and see.
I think we can play the Sadhana Panchakam. I'll play that.
Okay.
You can do the concluding mantra and I'll play.
Sure. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha.
well bed sheets for 2 weeks. Here's what happened. After one
वेदो नित्यमधीयतां तदुदितं कर्म स्वनुष्ठीयताम् तेनेशस्य विधीयतामपचितिः काम्ये मतिस्त्यज्यताम् पापौघः परिधूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छाव्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् सङ्गस्सत्सु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम् शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यताम् सद्विद्वान्नुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुकासेव्यताम् ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्थ्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिरः पक्षः समाश्रीयताम् दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम् ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यतामहरहर्गर्वः परित्यज्यताम् देहेऽहं मतिरुज्यतां बुधजनैर्वादः परित्यज्यताम् क्षुद्व्याधिश्च चिकित्स्यतां प्रतिदिनं भिक्षौषधं भुज्यताम् स्वाद्वन्नं न तु याच्यतां विधिवशात् प्राप्तेन सन्तुष्यताम् शीतोष्णादिविषह्यतां न तु वृथा वाक्यं समुच्चार्यताम् औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपानैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम् एकान्ते सुखमास्यतां परतरे चेतः समाधीयताम् पूर्णात्मा सुसमीक्ष्यतां जगदिदं तद्बाधितं दृश्यताम् प्राक्कर्म प्रविलाप्यतां चितिबलान्नाप्युत्तरैश्लिष्यताम् प्रारब्धं त्विह भुज्यतामथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्
Teenagers are building business